goes up in flames.
It will burn very brightly.
But it feels like someone decided we needed more, and I hate to say this, but romantic tension and a kind of rather dodgy stepfather-daughter vibe. Right then, welcome to the Empire. It's time we talked about something that shouldn't exist in 2025. A genuinely good piece of Star Wars content from Disney. I know. Check your calendars. Look outside for cats and dogs copulating in the street, because Andor Season 2 has managed to be what we thought was impossible. Adult television in a galaxy far, far away. Let's get this straight from the off. Andor Season 2 is brilliant. Nah, it's fucking brilliant. I cried a little at the end, knowing that we won't get better than this. And I've still got to watch the sequels. It's the kind of television that makes you remember why you fell in love with Star Wars in the first place. Back when it was about scrappy rebels fighting fascists, rather than whatever the hell the Rise of Skywalker was supposed to be. Tony Gilroy and his team have crafted something that treats its audience like adults, who can handle themes of occupation, imperialism, and political complexity without needing a cartoon rabbit to explain it. The show is structured like a proper drama, 4 chapters of 3 episodes each, covering 4 years leading up to Rogue One. Each block tells its own story while building towards the inevitable, which is no mean feat when we all know Cassian's going to end up in Scarif, getting comprehensively and rapidly disassembled. You do know that, don't you? It's like watching Better Call Saul. We know where Jimmy McGill ends up, but the journey's what matters. Diego Luna continues to be absolutely stellar as Cassian, showing his evolution from shy, cynical opportunist to true believer, without ever making it feel forced. Stellan Skarsgård, however, as Luthen, remains the show's secret weapon. The man who makes morally grey decisions feel genuinely complex, rather than just edgy for the sake of it. And Genevieve O'Reilly's Mon Mothma, navigating the political minefield of the Senate while secretly funding rebellion and single-handedly bringing back 90s rave. More on that later. The cast across the board delivers what Disney Star Wars has been desperately lacking: actual human emotion. Denise Goff's Dedra Meero continues to be terrifyingly competent as an Imperial officer. The kind of villain who's dangerous precisely because she's not cackling maniacally after 5 minutes. Elizabeth Dula as Clea gets more to do this season and absolutely nails it. Even Ben Mendelsohn returns as Krennic, reminding us why he was the best part of Rogue One. This guy is in my running for best Star Wars villain ever. Ooh, there's a thought for a video. Anyway, the writing treats these characters like actual people with motivations beyond I'm good or I'm evil, which is apparently a revolutionary concept in modern Star Wars. The political manoeuvring feels especially real. The espionage elements are genuinely tense, and the show manages to explore fascism, some might call it stable government, and resistance without feeling like it's lecturing you. Let's not pretend it's perfect though, because nothing Disney touches remains completely unblemished. There are moments when you can feel the corporate hand reaching in, and frankly, some bits made me cringe harder than watching someone try to parallel park a Range Rover on Byles Road. First up, the Cassian childhood flashbacks. Jesus wept. What is this? EastEnders in space? But Cassian, you don't understand the family business. It just needed Phil Mitchell to walk in and sort everyone out with a spanner. These sequences feel like they wandered in from a completely different show, all melodramatic and overwrought, while the rest of the series is so beautifully restrained. Oh, and solving our distances between rival rebel groups by playing rock, paper, scissors. Get a grip. This isn't a magic roundabout. I have expected Zebedee to pop up with, "It's time for bed."
Well, you can't win 'em all, said Zebedee. Time for bed.
Then there's Mon Mothma's, let's call it our interpretive dance phase, without spoiling anything. Yeah, okay. There's a sequence that feels like someone decided to film a late 90s trance video in the middle of a Star Wars show. I have expected her to start waving glow sticks and asking if anyone had any water. It's tonally bizarre. Sticks out like a sore thumb in an otherwise grounded series. I fucking loved it. The backstory though between Luthen and Clea starts strong but veers into unnecessarily sentimental territory that doesn't quite fit the show's usual emotional intelligence. It's not terrible, mind you, but it feels like someone decided we needed more, and I hate to say this, but romantic tension and a kind of rather dodgy stepfather-daughter vibe, when what we actually needed was more of their brilliant spy versus spy dynamic. Sometimes less really is more, and Andor usually understands this better than most. K2SO. Alan Tudyk returns as everyone's favourite sarcastic droid, and yes, it's genuinely funny. The problem is, K2SO becomes something of a magical solution dispenser whenever the plot needs the characters to escape impossible situations. Like having a brilliant comedian in your writing room who also happens to be a master locksmith, computer hacker and tactical genius. Convenient? Absolutely. Believable? Well, it's a droid, so technically yes, but it feels too much like having a Chekhov's Swiss Army knife hanging on the wall. More worryingly though, something about K2SO's increased prominence that feels very merchandisable. Call me paranoid after 20 years of dealing with corporate nonsense, but when a character starts feeling designed for toy shelves, my spidey senses start tingling. Disney's not exactly known for their restraint when it comes to turning beloved characters into plastic tat. Andor's always been a slow burn. Season 2's no different. If you found Season 1 methodically paced, this one will test your patience even further. The first half especially moves at the speed of continental drift, focusing on political manoeuvring over action. It's frustrating, because when the show does kick into gear, it's absolutely electric, but getting there requires the patience of a saint, or someone who's binge-watched Line of Duty enough times to appreciate a proper slow build. The time jumps between episodes can be jarring too. You'll be invested in a particular storyline only to jump forward a year and find everything's changed. It's ambitious storytelling, but it doesn't always stick the landing. Despite these gripes, when Andor fires on all cylinders, it's the best Star Wars has been since The Empire Strikes Back. Maybe, just maybe, even a little better. The espionage elements are genuinely tense. The political manoeuvring feels real and consequential. The show that understands that fascism isn't defeated by magic swords and chosen ones, but by ordinary people making extraordinary sacrifices. Although I should point out, armed rebellion only triumphs 26% of the time, while peaceful protest rocks in at 53% to get the job done. The production values are consistently excellent. This looks and feels like a lived-in galaxy where people actually work for a living, rather than a theme park designed to sell action figures. The attention to detail and world building puts the sequel trilogy to shame. Most importantly, it remembers that Star Wars works best when it's about hope in the face of overwhelming odds. Not hope delivered through prophecy or inherited power, but hope earned through struggle and sacrifice. Doesn't hold back in telling us that though. Andor Season 2 is the best thing Disney's done with Star Wars, which admittedly is a fairly low bar to clear given the competition includes the Book of Boba Fett and whatever the Acolyte was trying to accomplish. But it's genuinely good television. It happens to be set in a galaxy far, far away, rather than Star Wars content masquerading as proper drama. Yeah, it's slow. Yeah, some bits made me physically recoil. Yeah, I suspect Disney's merchandising department is already designing K2SO lunchboxes, but it's also intelligent, emotionally honest, and treats its audience with respect. Revolutionary concepts in modern blockbuster entertainment. The ending flows beautifully into Rogue One, making that film even better in retrospect. And if you can handle television that doesn't insult your intelligence and aren't expecting lightsaber battles every 10 minutes, this is absolutely worth your time. Is it perfect? No. Is it the Star Wars we deserve after years of corporate committee nonsense? Absolutely. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go rewatch Rogue One and pretend the sequel trilogy never happened. I'm a half out of 5 reluctant rebels. Watch it, but maybe keep the remote handy for those EastEnders moments. I'm great.
A Grumpy Scot with a pint in hand, ripping through films like a one-man band. Snarky cinema where the burns are hot, honest reviews you'll never forget. Oh hey, oh hey, let the truth be told. No sugar here, it's biting and bold. with a smirk and a scowl and a hearty laugh. The Grumpy Scot is here to riff your craft. From cringe remakes to sequels gone wrong, he'll tear 'em apart all video long. But if it's a gem, he'll tip his hat. Rare moments when praise comes from this cat. From cringe remakes to sequels gone wrong, he'll tear 'em apart all video long. But if it's a gem, he'll tip his hat. Rare moments when praise comes from this cat. Snark so sharp it'll cut through steel. Honesty that you can taste and feel. No fluff, no fuss, it's the Scottish creed. For brutal truth, the world does plead. Oh, hey, oh, aye, let the truth be told. No sugar here, it's biting and bold. With a smirk and a scowl and a hearty laugh, the Grumpy Scot is here to riff your craft. Your popcorn and duck for cover. It's cinema chats with a twist to discover. Snarky Scot with reviews that sting. A brutally honest movie rating king.